Guys, today, get ready to get healed.
NERDSoul.
Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing you that street geek and nerd soul. What is up? We're putting together geek and hip hop, but we're slowing it down because we're going to be talking about serious situation and a dope project based around trauma. I am here with
Beth Eversole.
She is also known as the allergy actress.
Yes.
She's got a project going on based around trauma, and let the guys know what's going on with that.
Okay, yeah, so the project is called I, like the letter I, and that's a metaphor for what's happening, like going inside the mind and your sense of self. So this project is about trauma and healing, and it's a series of 6 short films that can be standalone films because we want to be able to take them into like hospitals and schools and addiction recovery units specific to whatever trauma those people are going through. But it's also a series because of how it looks and this inside the mind idea, and the fact that it starts with the trauma that the person has gone through, goes into the mind to see how their everyday struggle is with the after effects of a trauma, which frequently leads to mental disorder like anxiety, depression, PTSD, eating disorders, body dysmorphia, things like that. Just a lot of what people deal with when they're traumatized. And then it goes through this battle, this everyday battle, and then it goes to the healing forces and what people have used to heal and truly heal, and the whole point of the message of the film series is you are not alone, and that in order to heal your narrative, you have to face your trauma. In order to truly start healing, when someone is traumatized, they have to acknowledge the trauma and they have to share their story, whether it be with just a close personal friend, in a journal, with a therapist, or publicly. It's kind of like if you witnessed like the Me Too movement or the Never Again movement, and how when people started sharing their stories, stuff started happening and people felt empowered to share.
Kind of like cathartic.
Yes, and it started a healing movement. So,
Cool. Now, you have a campaign running.
Yes.
Where can they find that campaign?
So it's at ithemovie.org. That's the letter I and then themovie.org. It's on Indiegogo, but that website will take you directly to that link.
Cool. And you guys are getting close. You're going for 10K, right?
This week we're going
This
for
week
10K.
You're going for 10K.
Yeah.
So this week, guys, they're going for 10K. They're at 7.5?
7,507.
Oh,
last I checked.
So guys, going out there, check it out. ithemovie.org.
Okay.
It's really dope because these are stories that need to be told.
Yeah.
Of course, I love action. I love, blowing things up and, car chases and everything. But there are certain stories that need to be told that help us with what's beyond the screen. When we turn off the TV and have to deal with life, these stories can help us. These stories can help us deal with either friends or family. So I think this is a very important project. So with a project like this, how did it come to you, or how did you come up with it?
So the first episode is based on my story, and actually every episode is based on true stories that people have written into us. So about what their personal experience with trauma, what happened, the repercussions of it, and how they've been healing from it. So from that, I've been writing the other episodes. But yeah, that's how I came up with it. I was watching actually a movie on Netflix regarding eating disorders, and I'm a recovered anorexic, and so I had a pretty significant experience with that and traumas that had led to the development of that. And so after watching that movie, I was like, that was the first movie I'd seen where they actually addressed it pretty well, except that they still didn't show what the person is thinking on the inside, and that's the one thing that my family always said. They always said, I wish we could get inside your head and understand why you're doing this, what's happening. And so I was like, I need to write something that is the bird's eye vantage point, you know?
Because it is kind of hard to, I guess, express when you're the person, and it's kind of hard to find when you're not the person.
Exactly.
Because, I'm sure your family was like, we want to know,
right?
Because your family wants to fix it.
Right.
And you're like, I want to tell you.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do it. Yeah. So, and there's also, just with trauma in general, especially like wartime trauma or sexual assault trauma, things like that. There's such a stigma surrounding it and such a sense of shame and guilt and like somehow it's the person's fault that was traumatized, you know, and it's not. And that's we want to break that stigma and bring down those barriers so people can feel like they can share and say, this is what's happening. Right, this is what I'm dealing with. This is why I'm acting out. This is why I'm angry. This is why, you know, I'm not myself. And so, and speaking of action, I just wanted to say that there is actually action in this first episode.
Wow.
We have a character of the she-devil, and inside the mind, there's a battle that goes on between the protagonist, which is my character, and this she-devil, which represents the trauma and the eating disorder.
Wow. Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Because, you know, it is nice to see representations because, you know, these horrors, these traumas are very real when they happen to people. Like, you know, everybody has gone through some sort of trauma. And if you haven't, that's great. But the people that have, for the far majority, this should be hopefully a cool doorway into maybe having a conversation with their significant other, their friends, their family, mom, dad, whatever, to hopefully bring them into like, this is how I felt, you know, or this is what I went through. You know, can you kind of get where I'm coming from now?
Yes.
So that's extremely cool. Now, so you have 6 already that you're working on.
Yes.
What do you plan to do after you know, finish the goal, you get the goal, all that stuff? What's the next step?
So with the 6, and we actually have more ideas for more than just 6. But yeah, we're going to be seeking some distribution grants to cover any costs of the other episodes to be shot. But our ultimate goal is to get it to the people that need to see it. And so we'd like to license it and give it to hospitals, addiction recovery units, eating disorder units, battered women's shelters, homeless shelters. And I personally would like to take it into schools and universities where we could hopefully prevent some of this from happening. You know, because I feel like if we show these films, which they are entertain, they do have a sense of entertainment value because they're dramatic narrative films, but the message I think is
something that can start a
conversation, be a catalyst for change, to change the narrative of kind of what's happening in our country as a whole right now. I feel like we're all very traumatized at the moment. So So
that's extremely cool because in this, you know how we take hip hop and geek. Well, she's taking entertainment and taking like a social aspect to it, and doing this. And you know, NERDSoul love the kids. So, so doing something for the kids, doing something for the elderly, doing something for people that are in need, but using the entertainment angle. That's something that's extremely dope. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. Now, guys, where can you find it? ithemovie.org. Don't sleep. Go check it out and drop $1 in the bucket. All right, we'll drop more than $1. Look, we like the money that jingles, but we'd rather the kind that folds.
Right.
So before we bounce, where can people find you?
So we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So on Facebook and Instagram, it's at @I_the_movie. Okay. On Twitter, it is all run together, @ITheMovie1.
Okay. So. Well, guys, look, you heard it here first. This is how you heal. You know what I'm saying? Go in and get this out there. Help her get this out there so it can represent all of us and so we can have something to not only help us heal, but help us explain what we're going through and start that conversation. Yeah, so from us to you, we're getting out of here, but we got to say peace